main four-cylinder division. On the pole in Heat 1 is Richard Adler out of Thorold in the number 60. He is followed by Dave Whitaker out of St. Catharines in the number 34. Kenny Hare in row 2 out of Niagara Falls in the 5K, followed by Austin Worstrow in the number 71. Row 3, Sierra Cuse out of Beamsville in the number 7B, followed by Mike Gibberson out of Caledonia in the number 11. Row 4, Dylan Lord out of Thorold in the 13D, followed by Tyler LaFantasy in the number 96T, and rounding out the field in heat number 1 is Steve Miller out of Paris, Ontario in the number 79. 6 laps.
6 qualifying, good luck.
Hadler and Winnegar on the front row. Looking for green this time out of turn 4. RPM's coming up. Green flag is out and we are racing into turn 1 with our first heat race of the night. Kenny Hare in the 5K gets a good run. 3 wide down into turn number 1. He's going to lead. Followed by the 60 of Hadler, 34 of Winnegar, Worstrow in the 71W, looking up now into third. Here comes LaFantasy in the 96. 3 wide down the back straightaway. He's going to throw it in as well as a truck, a 13 of Lord. He's going to throw it in hard on the right front, coming out of turn number 4. Lord's going to be down 4 wide out of 4. Lord is second at the line over Hadler with Hare leading.
Kenny Hare in the lead in the early going of the number 5K, just pulling out in front. Tyler LaFantasy, who started out just at the back of the pack, is about to make a big move to get into second. Richard Hadler is in second at the moment. Kenny Hare in the lead so far in the heat number 1.
Great battle between LaFantasy and Lord. They both started back in the pack in that 13 truck in 96 car. They chased the number 5K of Kenny Hare, who's out front. Worstrow riding in fourth, trying to see what's going to sort out. Hadler settling in now in the 5th spot with Winnegar and Cuse rounding out the field right now.
2 laps to go in heat number 2. Kenny Hare still out in front, followed by Dylan Lord. Tyler LaFantasy and number 71 of Worstrow battling for 3rd and 4th. And as we come to the last lap of this heat, 2 laps to go. Kenny Hare still in the lead.
Kenny Hare looking good out front in this one. Lord now switches kind of to the middle line in that 13 SOS towing truck. LaFantasy looking to his inside in the 96. He's not going far away. They both definitely catching that 5K of Hare up front, who locked their left rear brake going into turn number 3, probably because it wasn't on the ground. White flag is out this time by for the 5K of Hare. Lord in that 13 car, still going at it tooth and nail with the 96 of LaFantasy into turn number 1. Out of turn number 2, LaFantasy now gets the 2nd spot on the bottom side down the back straightaway. Let's see if he can do anything with Hare now in 3 and 4 on this final lap. Into 3 and 4, checkered flag this out. Hare pushes up a little bit, allows LaFantasy to get to the inside. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Hare over LaFantasy. Lord, Worstrow, Hadler, Winnegar, and Cuse is going to round out the field. 6 laps, 9 cars here, 27 cars tonight in our mini stocks. Awesome car count, like I said, once again. Here we go. Green flag is out. Allway and Neftati hammers down. Allway doesn't get a good start as all as Moulton gets to his inside down into turn number 1 and 2. Moulton in that 10 car going to look for the lead on the bottom side of his Toddy, the 09. Clinton Barrett got high off that time in turn number 1 and 2, but he's going to fight back on the high side of turn number 3 and 4. He's definitely not scared in that 09, but it's definitely cost him a lot of positions as Jay Moulton in the 10 leads lap 1.
Jay Moulton in the lead here in the early going. Almost 3 wide there for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. The number 10X of Jeremy May is right on the trail there of Sam Iftati, trying to make a move on the outside to catch the 2nd place spot, but to no avail. Still it is Jay Moulton in the early goings of this heat.
10X, Jeremy May looking to the outside of Iftati. He's pushing the high side, and that number 10 car gets to the outside of the 38 of Iftati. He's going to take the 2nd spot down the back straightaway. Jeremy May in that 10 into the 2nd spot over Iftati. In the 38, and the 7 of Denabrizia is now the 7C of Cole Hardy, moves up to his inside. He's going to take over the 4th spot into turn number 1 with the 09, now getting to the inside of the 7.
As Jay Moulton begins to increase his lead just that much more here in the goings of heat number 2. Battle going on right now for 3rd and 4th between Iftati and Hardy. 38 right on the trail there. So far, in the early goings of this heat, Jay Moulton beginning to pull out in front and is comfortably in the lead here in heat number 2.
White flag out now for the number 10 of Molden, followed by 10 XMA, 7 of Hardy, 09 of Barrick, and the 38 S of Iftadi. Down the back straightaway now. He had this one wrapped up a few laps ago. He definitely a great run for the 10 of Molden. Got the lead lap 1, led every lap. Here's the checker flag now. Number 10, Jay Molden picks up the win, followed by 10X, Jeremy May. 7C, Cole Hardy, 09, Clinton Barrick, 7 of Denambrosia, and the 38 of Iftadi. Riley and Pagnotta, green flag is out. They get a nice even start. Pagnotta gets the jump into turn number 1. He's going to lead, but here comes DeBoer on the outside, and that number 23, Obey in the 5 now to the inside. He's going to battle for second off. Turn number 2, DeBoer is going to look to the inside of Pagnotta down the back straightaway. He's going to lead into turn 3. 5 of Obey going to try to follow through with him as the 17. O'Reilly has fallen back to 4th from his pole starting spot as DeBoer is going to lead lap 1 in this final heat for our mini stocks tonight.
Side by side going on there just in previously for second and third between the 13 of Pagnotta and the 5 of Obey. Currently in the lead is Trevor DeBoer.
Do you relieve yourself or no?
Anybody's game so far here in heat number 3, but so far it is Trevor DeBoer.
DeBoer looking great out front in this one. In the second spot, Pagnotta and Obey going at it side by side in those 2 Mustangs for the second spot. Riley now settled in with a good line in that 17, starting to gain on the 5 a little bit. And the 14 of Lubeck, he's been fast early in this season, is rounding out the top 5. And here comes Kyle Rothwell. He's always fast as well. In that 114, he's going to get to the inside of Lubeck off of 4 there and take the 5th spot away as we're halfway through. 3 in, 3 to go in this final heat for our mini stocks here tonight.
Halfway through this heat, Trevor DeBoer still in the lead, increasing his lead just a little bit more. Still side by side going on for second and third between Pagnotta and Obey. And the number 17 of Alex Riley joining the group there. He is in 4th. Side by side also going on in the back of the pack there. Getting to single file through positions 1 through 3. But getting to 2 laps to go, it is Trevor DeBoer.
DeBoer takes the white flag that time as Rothwell gets into the side of 17. O'Reilly out of turn number 4. DeBoer out front of this one all alone down the back straightaway. He's got about a half straightaway lead over the 5 now of Obey. Into turn 3 and 4. Coming out, checker flags waving. It's going to be DeBoer picking up the win, followed by the 5 of Obey, 13 of Pagnotta, 14 Lubeck, 114 of Rothwell, and the 17 O'Reilly. And then we've got the 12, Mark Deagle, and the 44, Danny Worcester, rounding out the field. And here's rolling right away, heat 1 of our Hoosier stocks tonight. 20 Hoosier stocks here with us in attendance tonight. This is the first heat. We've got Chris Schneider and Mark Fawcett going to lead us to green. Here comes Couture rolling out late into the heat race in the Batman car. Green flag is out. We are racing into turn number 1. Fawcett in the 32 gets a good jump as the 50 car goes around in front of the field. Luckily doesn't get collected as everyone is able to miss him, but that's a tough break there for the 50 car Schneider as he started on the pole and loops are going into 1. They can go with the blue pool noodle in turn number 4. RPMers up, hammers are down, green flag is out, and we are racing into turn number 1. Nice side-by-side start between the Fonz and Fawcett. Fawcett going to roll the middle, try to get the lead. He's going to do so coming out of turn number 2. Hale pushing the high side in that 79. Not really going to work, though, as he's opened up the door for Monday night's feature winner, Donnie Lamon, in the 28. Lamon has to back out of it a little bit as it crowded up, and now he's going to get a good bite off the bottom and get around the 79 of Hale, side-by-side down the front straightaway with Fontaine right in front of him, as it was Fawcett, Fontaine, Lamon, and Hale battling for that top 4 spots.
Mark Fawcett currently in the lead here in the early going, followed by Jason Fontaine. And Chris Hale at number 79 is in third. The 28D of Donnie Lampman trying to make a big move there onto the inside of Fontaine. But so far in the early going, it is Mark Fawcett in the lead in this heat.
Great battle for second. Fontaine and Lampman going at it tooth and nail, side by side. Lampman on the bottom, Fontaine through the middle to the top side. That's Fontaine by a nose there for the second spot. Not very big difference between them on that lap as they're still side by side down the back straightaway, door to door, 28 and 1. Fawcett's loving this though as he's able to pull away a little bit in that 32. Hale looking for a mistake out of the two guys in front of him as he's rolling fourth. Pete Reed up from the rear in that 05. He's going to be looking for fourth now on the outside of Hale as it's still side by side. Lampman and Fontaine, best battle on the track for that second spot.
With Mark Fawcett out in the lead in the early goings here halfway through. Donnie Lampman and Jason Fontaine still side by side going on for second and third with Lampman out in front in second. Getting to be single file through 1 through 5. But still with about 3 laps to go, it is Mark Fawcett still in the lead here in heat number 1.
2 to go this time by for the 32 of Fawcett. Lampman now solidly into the second place in that metric Monte Carlo 28D. Fontaine in third in the 1J. Hale holding on to fourth. And 05 of Reed rounds out the top 5 as the top 5 has now gotten single file a little bit as they come around now to see the white flag this time by. It's still the 32 of Fawcett, but now that Lampman's got away from the one of Fontaine, looks like he's been able to gain on the 32 of Fawcett. Is now Lampman's right on the rear bumper coming out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Fawcett's going to hold a protective line for that bottom line into 3 and 4. Checker flag waving. It's going to be 32 hanging it sideways out of turn number 4. Picks up the win. Fawcett over Lampman, Fontaine, Hale, Reed, Couture, and Schneider rounds out the field. Want and Tipo going to lead him to green for our heat number 2 here in the Hoosier stocks. In behind them, Bleach and Murray. Another loaded heat, definitely all divisions loaded here at Merrittville. We've got a lot of good cars in the street stocks, and we are green in heat 2. Nice even start between the 19 and 11. Bleach looking to the inside. Murray's going to look to the high side. They can't find anything, so it's 2 by 2, 3 rows deep off of turn number 2 in heat number 2 here at Merrittville with the Hoosier stocks as it's still Tipo and Want going door to door for the first spot.
Anybody's game here so far, the early goings of heat number 2. Go Fast Tipo currently in the lead, followed by Trevor Want. Rob Murray, the number M1, is in third, but it is side by side going on right now between Tipo and Want for the lead. Too close to call here in heat number 2. Tipo so far in the slight lead.
Now Bleach gets to the inside of one. We're 3 wide for the lead out of turn number 2, but here comes the 11 of Tipo. He gets a good bite down the back straightaway. He's going to pull in the lead all by himself now for a little bit, but now he picks up a little bit of a push out of 4. Bleach on the bottom now. He's going to look to the inside of Tipo. Tipo leads that lap over Bleach, Want, Bailey, Murray, and Haynes. Now Go Fast Tipo in that 11 is out front in that number 11 car down the back chute.
Tipo pulling away just a little bit here in heat number 2. Battle going on right now for second and third between Bleach and Want. Bleach just inching his way out into the second place. Dave Bailey, who started out in 5th, has pulled up into 4th. And it is now Go Fast Tipo right now beginning to increase the lead just a little bit more here in heat number 2.
Trevor Want starting to fall through the field now as Bailey in the 49 and the 1 Emma Murray. And 1 Emma Murray gets by him as Want's now back to 5th as now Bailey in the 49 looks to the outside of Bleach in the 108 and 49 Brewster Baker. Dave Bailey's going to take the second spot down the back straightaway and set his sights on the 11 at Teeple now as Teeple gets a little tight out of 4 as we're still almost 3 wide out of 4. That time as Bailey dips the right rear in the moat and opens the door again for Bleach and Murray.
With 2 laps to go here in heat number 2, Go Fast Teeple still in the lead and increasing it by just that much more. Dave Bailey inching his way up into second spot. Zach Bleach in third, followed by the M1 of Rob Murray. As we got to the white flag, it is Teeple still in the lead.
White flag out. Teeple's done a good job out front of this one. Bailey's going to have one more shot at him in turn 3 and 4. Let's see what happens as Murray battles Bleach for third down the back straightaway into 3 out of 4 this time. Checker flags waving. It's going to be Go Fast Teeple picking up the win, followed by 49 Bailey, 108 Bleach, M1 Murray, 19 Want, 22 Haynes, and the 2M of Mark McDonald's going to round out the field. Good race there in the heat number 2 for our Hoosier stocks. A lot of action all through the field, and now we're going to roll heat 3 off turn number 3. Green flags out, racing into turn number 1 and 2. Bryce Richardson, that 11R, he's going to lead off the bottom of turn number 2. Jim Layman in the 28, leading down the back straightaway now as he gets a good run off the top of 2, side by side into turn number 3 for the lead. Pellrine in the 47X looking for a mistake out of the leaders as they both get loose out of turn number 2. And it's going to be the 11R Richardson leading lap 1 over 28 Layman and 47X Pellrine.
Number 28 of Jim Lampman just had a big head of steam there to claim the lead over Richardson, but Richardson still holding steady. And he just retook the lead over Pellrine and Lampman. Too close to call here in heat number 3. It is still Bryce Richardson.
Lampman not going away on that top side as he's getting a good run into turn number 2 every time as he's now the leader into turn 3 and 4. Let's see if he can hold it through 3 and 4 as there seems to be a little less bite off the top side of that end of the speedway. As it's going to be Lampman by a nose this time out of 4. He got a good run that time out of 4. Lampman learning the line in 3 and 4. He's really fast in 1 and 2 on that top side as now he's going to blast off turn 2 and be in the lead all alone in that 28 car, followed by 11 Richardson and 47X Pellrine, who's now going to look to the inside of Richardson off turn number 4 this time as we're halfway down in this final heat for the Hoosier stocks.
Three-way battle going on for the lead between Lampman, Richardson, and Donnie Lampman.
Jimmy Lampman.
Or Jimmy Lampman, I should say. Currently it is Jim Lampman in the lead. Richardson still on the inside there, trying to get back the lead. Three-wide battle for the lead so far, but it is the 28 of Jim Lampman in the lead so far.
3 wide now for the lead as Pellrine got a good run off the bottom. Lampman's still getting that great run off too. That's definitely his strong point on the track. As now we're going to look to be 3 wide and out of turn number 4 this time as we're 2 to go this time by as Pellrine gets by the 11 of Richardson for the second spot. Pellrine doing a good job rolling the bottom in that 47X as he's pushing it up now trying to get to the inside of Lampman, but Lampman powers down the back straightaway off that high side again.
All right. Coming up to the white flag, the last lap of heat number 3 here in the Hoosier stocks. The 28 of Jim Lampman still in the lead. But Kyle Pellrine in second, trying to get to catch him.
Into 3 and 4 now. Final time, final street stock heat of the night. One shot for Pellrine off the bottom. Let's see if it's going to happen. No, it's not. Checker flag out. It's going to be Jim Lampman picking up the win, followed by 47X Pellrine, 11R Richardson. Chua Sheehan does a good job to get to 4th. And then the 43 of Andrus rounds out the field. Sharp and Bleach, they toss him sideways out of 4. Green flag is out, hammers are down, and they are racing into turn number 1 and 2. First heat race of the night for our Sportsman division here. Bleach pushing the high side in that 108 Bleach Brother Racing car. Justin Sharp in the Blue Moon Potato car now running on the bottom. He's going to try to get the lead out of 4. He gets the bite out of 4, and he's going to lead lap 1 here of our Sportsman division here tonight as McPherson doing a good job to move to the 3rd spot in that 7 car, but he's got Brad Rouse in the 18R pushing to his outside. He definitely wants that 3rd spot as well.
Almost single file going 1 through 4 between Sharp, Bleach, McPherson, and Rouse. Number 8S of Justin Sharp currently in the lead in the early going. But there's almost a 3-wide battle going on for the runner-up spot. That's currently held by Billy Bleach in the number 108. In the early goings of this heat, it is Justin Sharp in the lead.
Sharp doing a good job in that 8S, rolling the bottom, hitting his marks, keeping the same distance between him and Bleach. Now Bleach has got some heat from the 7 of McPherson in behind him. So Bleach can definitely hear that number 7 rolling up on him, getting to his inside out of 4, but Bleach holds on to the 2nd spot for now. Rowe starting to fall back a little bit from McPherson. Brent Bigelow in the 16 up to 5th. Trevor Wright in the 096 as now McPherson does look to the outside of the 108 of Bleach now into turn number 3.
McPherson trying to make a move there on the outside of the 108 of Bleach to get to the second spot. Still committed to that spot, and he will take over the second place position. Currently it is still Justin Sharp in the lead, inching his lead just a little bit more as we come into the 2 laps to go here in heat number 2. Justin Sharp in the lead, but McPherson is right there.
McPherson trying to roll the middle and try to get to the round the outside. Sharp has been doing a good job hitting his marks on the bottom, holding the lead in this heat race. Now Bleach gives up the 3rd spot to the 18R of Rouse. Rouse now clicks by that time in the 3rd spot as he's moved up to this field. As McPherson again to the outside of Sharp, gets a better bite this time down the back straightaway, moves door to door with the 8 car of Sharp into turn number 3 and 4. Checkered flags out this time. Who's it going to be? It's going to be McPherson picking up the win over Sharp, Rouse, Bleach, Bigelow, Wright, Van Mill, and Petey going to round out the field. So great finish there. Good job to Cody McPherson to grab the win out of turn number 4 there. Heat 2 of our Sportsman division. We've got Vander Zanden and Friesen on the front row. Mallory and DuPont in behind them, looking for a good start as well. Green flag is out, and we are racing into turn number 1 and 2. Friesen on the high side, Vander Zanden on the bottom. They're still side by side. Now Friesen gets a good shot off turn 2, and he's going to lead down the back straightaway. Vander Zanden not going away in that 74 car as he's going to roll the bottom out of turn number 4, try to get back to the inside of the 68, but it's going to be Friesen leading lap 1 over Vander Zanden, Mallory, Dumont, Fairway, McKay, and Lane.
Friesen and Vander Zanden inching their way out in front here in the early goings of this heat. Friesen currently in the lead, followed by Vander Zanden. The number 20 car of Jay Mallory is right up there in 3rd. Competitive battle going on in this heat so far, but it is Taylor Vander Zanden currently in the lead.
Vander Zanden, great job to take the lead back over. And now lead into turn number 3 and 4. Mallory moving up into the 3rd spot. Dumont's falling back to 5th now. Here comes Fairway. He's moving up as well. He's got a win already so far this year in that 53 car. Up front, still Vander Zanden, plugging the bottom, trying to hold off the 68 of Friesen. Mallory, they've now widened out into a single file top 5 now as here comes Vander Zanden to click off another lap halfway down.
Vander Zanden currently still holding on to the lead. Almost single file going on throughout this entire heat. With Vander Zanden still in the lead, followed by Friesen. Mallory is in 3rd, followed by the 53 of Fairway. Beyond the halfway point, it is Taylor Vander Zanden.
Vander Zanden still out front in this one, now pulling away a little bit from the 68 of Friesen. Mallory now moving in a little bit on the 68. Friesen that time misses his mark, slides through the black stuff a little bit up to the cushion off of turn number 4. 2 to go this time. Vander Zanden still rolling the bottom, leading off turn number 2. Friesen pushing the high side, trying to, but here comes Mallory now with a good run off the bottom, moves in on the 68.
White flag in the air for the last lap of heat number 3. It is Taylor Vander Zanden beginning to increase his lead just that much more over Curtis Friesen. Jay Mallory in 3rd. As they come around for the checkered flag here at heat number 3, it looks like it is going to be Taylor Vander Zanden taking heat number 3 of the Right Choice Automobile Leisure Sportsman Division, followed by the 68 of Curtis Friesen to Jay Mallory in 3rd, Darryl Fairway in 4th, and Mitch Dumont rounding out the top 5. Taylor Vander Zanden, your winner in heat number 3.
Friesen and Leslie, green flags out, hammers are down. They're going to race into turn number 1. Friesen gets a good jump in that 72 car. He's going to lead through 1 and 2. He slides up to the cushion off turn number 2. Here comes Leslie now down the back straightaway. 35 of Monday's winner. Mason gets a little high off top of turn 2, opens up the door for the 2K of Rob Knapp to stick it down to his inside. As here comes the 2K of Knapp now into the 4th spot under the 35 of Mason. Friesen still out front in that 72, followed by Leslie. 22 of Smith, 35 of Mason, and 2K of Rob Knapp rounding out the top 5.
James Friesen out in front here on the early goings of this heat. Battle right now going on for the 3rd and 4th spot between Terry Smith and last week's winner Nelson Mason up there in 5th spot. The early goings of this heat, JMF is beginning to make it look easy there, but look out for Adam Leslie. He is right there. Friesen currently in the lead in this heat.
Friesen, the opening night winner in that 72. Leslie has been fast all year, still hasn't picked up a win, but he has lots of top 3s and 5s in that 15 car. Definitely not falling away from that 72 cars. They both kind of roll in the same line right now. Now here comes Knapp looking to the inside of the 22 of Smith. Now Knapp to the inside. He's racing for that 3rd spot in the 2K as the 22 of Smith holds on to it for now as they battle side by side through and off turn number 2. Knapp gets the good bite, and he's going to move into 3rd into 3.
Friesen and Leslie breaking away from the pack here in heat number 3. Battle right now going on. Actually, it's getting to be about single file right now here in heat number 3. Yeah. With James Friesen way out in front here in first, about a second and a half ahead of Adam Leslie. As we come into 2 laps to go in this heat, it is JMF James Michael Friesen in the lead.
JMF definitely starting to pull away now from the 15 of Leslie as they come into 3 and 4. White flag this time out of 4 for the 72 of Friesen, who's opened up almost a 3/4 straightaway lead over the 15 of Leslie, the 2K of Knapp, 22 of Smith, and the 35 of Monday's winner Mason. Down the back straightaway into turn 3 and 4. Final time checker flags out for our final heat race for the Sportsman here tonight. James Michael Friesen going to pick up the win, followed by 15 Adam Leslie, 2K Rob Knapp, 22 Terry Smith, 35 Nelson Mason, 3N Noah Mamo, and the 21 of Spencer Spolders rounds out the field. Looks like the Ada Hills requested tail, so that's going to move Buscombe up to the pole with the 291 of Cornish to his outside. Nice and slow off turn number 4. Hammers down at the blue cone. Green flags out as the 71 of Buscombe gets a good jump into turn number 1 and 2. Here comes the 17 of Slider now trying to push the middle in that 17 car. He's going to get some bite, but gets the block a little bit from the 291 of Cornish. Here comes Meisner, throws it down on the inside, gets by a few cars. He's going to try to be second here coming out of 2, and he is going to be, as now Buscombe leads over Slider, Meisner side by side, that time at line in a dead heat.
Number 17 of Josh Slider just made a big head of steam there to claim the lead from Buscombe. 3rd place, Rob Meisner. Dave Cornish is right behind him. And 4th, very competitive heat 1 so far, but it is actually Josh Slider in the lead in the early goings of this heat.
Slider pulling away in that 17 Savage chassis car. Here comes his teammate Meisner in the 6 car. Now moving into the inside of the 71 of Buscombe. Meisner going to take the 2nd spot as Slider picks off another lap. 3 down, 3 to go here in the first heat for our Mod Lights here tonight.
Single file 1 through 3 with Josh Slider in the lead, followed by Rob Meisner not too far back, just about a second behind. Leroy Buscombe in 3rd. As we approach the 2-lap mark of this heat, it is Josh Slider still in the lead, increasing it just that much more right now.
Slider into 3 and 4. Going to see the white flag this time for the 17. Meisner still in 2nd. Buscombe holding on to 3rd. Pitts 4th. Cornish now just scared to push the high side, but he's fallen back in this heat from his front row starting spot as this 27 of Toddy's gotten to his inside. And into the top 5 is now Slider into 3 and 4. Final time, checker flag waving in the air. Josh Slider going to pick up heat 1 of the Rona Deutsch Mod Light division here tonight, followed by 6 Meisner, 71 Buscombe, 26 Pitts, 17 Iftati, and the 291 of Cornish. And then the 32 of Corbett. Slider and Anderson front row in this one. Brent Bigelow back in that 7th spot. He's been fast here this year in that 16 car. Winger also has a win. May also always super fast. Watson as well in that 07. Green flag is out. And we are racing down the front straightaway. He's almost 4 wide into turn number 1. Watson not afraid. He's going to push the high side in that 07. As now he's filtered down to 3 wide out of turn number 2 with the 44 of Anderson. 07 Watson now down to 2 wide down the back straightaway. But we're 3 wide again now for 4th with Bigelow throwing her in there on the inside. In that 16 car now he's under the 7 of Slider. And now Bigelow 3rd down the front straightaway and going to be looking for the lead off too.
Early goings of this heat, Watson right there on the outside made a big move to try to claim the lead for the number 16 of Bigelow. However, Bigelow is still holding true to the lead, and Watson just slid out there a little bit. Thankfully, he is able to get it back onto the track. The early goings of this heat, it is Brent Bigelow, followed by Ryan Anderson and Jeffrey May.
Nice sportsman-like move there from the 07 Watson to keep her rolling, and we can stay green here. Now we're halfway down, three to go for the 16 of Bigelow. Still a good battle for that second spot. Four cars all under a blanket with 44 Anderson, 4 Winger, 7S Slider, and 23 of May. Those cars all battling for that second spot with those 4 cars in a bunch, but that's just allowing Brent Bigelow to pull out even farther in that 16 cars. He sees 2 to go this time.
Brent Bigelow comfortably out in front with about 2 laps to go here in the seats. The most competitive battle going on right now is for the 3rd and 4th spot between the 23 of May and the 44 of Ryan Anderson. And we're coming into the white flag of heat number 2. Brent Bigelow well out in front.
Bigelow straightaway lead in that 16 car. He's got her on cruise control. He's going to click off 2 more corners and pick up the win in this final heat for our Mod Lights tonight. Into 3 and 4, Bigelow rolling the low side, sees the checker flag. He's going to win heat number 2 for the Mod Lights, followed by number 4, Tyler Winger, then 23, Jeffrey May, 44. That's Ryan Anderson, then Dylan Slider, 7S, 6S, Riley Slider, and 07, Chris Watson rounds out the field after his early spin. First lap of 358's coming to green now. It's Gruel and Ferry leading her into one. Veterans McTavish and Wood on that second row. As now Ferry has a problem off turn number 2, and McTavish gets some contact. I don't know what happened to the one of Ferry, but he's lost power down the back straightaway. He's dead in the water, and we're going to have to go yellow. Definitely an unfortunate situation there for the 1F of Ferry, who got a good start, but then just seemed to break in the middle of turn number 1 and 2. Brandon Gruel, 35G, taking a nice slow pace into turn number 3. He can fire at the blue pool noodle in 4. RPM's coming up, green flag's out. Good start for the 35 of Gruel's. He's going to lead down the front straightaway. Wood in the 38 going to push the high side, try to get some bite, and go around the 35 as he does so, and he's going to shoot to the lead off turn number 2. Wood now your leader down the back straightaway. Susie throws her in 3 wide under Bicknell and Neal as they get into turn number 3 and 4. Susie goes from the back 2, looks like almost third coming out of 4th. Now he's to the inside of McTavish as they've got to deal with the 35 of Gruel now as Bicknell gets back to the inside of the 38.
Scott Wood in the lead quite comfortably here in the early going, just about a second ahead of Brandon Gruel. Actually about almost a 3-1 battle going on for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Scott Wood in the lead here in the early going of this heat number 1.
Boyd McTavish holding on to second in that 41 car. Susie trying to find a way around Gruel in the 38. Bicknell just behind him. Neal falling back a little bit in the 2X. Wood pulling away now. He's got about a half straightaway lead down the back straightaway over the 41 of McTavish. Here comes Scott Wood now to click off another lap. Susie gets into the 35 a little bit there. Halfway down now for the 38 of Wood.
Wood comfortably out in front here. The battle going on right now for the 3rd and 4th spots between the 38 RS of Ryan Susie, 35 of Brandon Gruel. Pete Bicknell right there behind him. And so far with the last couple of laps there, and it has been all Scott Wood in the lead, about 3 seconds ahead.
Bicknell now works to the outside, 35 Gruel. He gets into that 4th spot. Pete around the outside of the 35 and into 4th. 2 laps to go now for the 38 of Wood as he clicks off another lap. Moving out almost to a 4th straightaway lead now over the 41 of McTavish and the 38 of Susie. As Gruel now starting to battle back a little bit on the inside of Bicknell, but Bicknell holds him off.
White flag in the air for the last lap of heat number 1, and it has been all Scott Wood. All Scott Wood here in heat number 1. 41 of Boyd McTavish is in second, followed by Ryan Susie in 3rd. Checker flag out in the air. Scott Wood wins it by a full 4 seconds over Boyd McTavish. Ryan Susie will finish up in the 3rd spot, followed by Pete Bicknell. And rounding up the top 5 is Brandon Gruel. Here, 5-second win for Scott Wood here in heat number 1 of the Core Pack Merchandising 358 Modifieds.
Another nice slow start into turn number 3 with Van Mill and Davidson. Heat 2 for our Modifieds coming to green now. RPM's up, green flag out. Van Mill gets the jump, but Davidson not letting get away. The Carlton brothers racing in row 2 now, going to go to battle, try to get around the pole sitters. as now Freddie's around the outside of brother Luke and looking for the third spot, looking for second now into 3. Luke battles back on the inside. Freddie's going to cross over. And now we're 3 wide out of 2 with Davidson leading the first lap, followed by Van Mill and the Carlton brothers as they were 3 wide over the line.
Davidson in the lead here in the early going, but the battle right now going on for the runner-up spot between Van Mill and then both the Carltons, Freddie and Luke, for 3rd and 4th. Very competitive going here in heat number 2. It is Dylan Davidson out in front of the early going.
Davidson and Van Mill doing a good job to hold off the highly experienced Carlton brothers, even the 2012 Chevalier, lots of experience in that car as well. So a couple rather newcomers to the modified division, only been around for about 5 years or so, these guys. Davidson doing a good job out front, holding on in that 73 car. Van Mill holding on second. Now he pushes up a little bit. That might open up the door for Freddie, but Freddie can't get the bite down the back straightaway. Van Mill still second. Freddie throws her in on the bottom. Here we go now, going to click off 4 laps. 4 in, 4 to go for the 73. Davidson doing a good run out front.
Halfway through heat number 2. And it is still Dylan Davidson out in the lead, but Freddie Carlton is right there in second. Almost single file going on in 1 through 4. Freddie Carlton trying to make a move onto the outside to try to catch him, but to no avail. It is Dylan Davidson with 3 laps to go.
That time 73 of Davidson misses marks a little bit in turn 1 and 2, got over the cushion a little bit. That's going to open up the door for the Carlton brothers. Davidson now gets stuck in the middle a little bit. Luke hits the bottom, good stuff out of 4, gets to the inside of Freddie. Now Luke to the inside of his brother into turn number 1. Freddie switches lines. He's going to try to drive around the outside of the 73. Freddie gets the hammer down, and he is going to be your new leader down the back straightaway. Davidson not going to go away. He's going to hold on in the middle. They're going to see the white flag this time. We're going to have a good battle for this. As now Carlton gets to the inside of Davidson for the second spot. Luke Carlton looking for spot number 2 as they're still side by side. Davidson and Luke Carlton for that second spot is now Freddie out front that 96. Once he made that move, he's able to check away a little bit. And here we go, checker flags out. It's going to be fast Freddie Carlton picking up the win over his brother Luke in the 97. Davidson in the 73. 12 Chevalier, 2 Cool Van Mill, and the 74 of Flanagan. Podwinski and Gordon up front in this one. Final heat of the night. Core Pack Merchandising, 358 modifieds. Coming to green, heat 3. Gordon gets a good run off the top side as 37 of Lindbergh gets to the inside of Pierce and then clips the inside wall a little bit, but Lindbergh up into 4th now. He's going to try to battle the inside of Williamson into 6th, side by side up front. Podwinski gets tight big time and gets into the side of Gordon. That's going to open up the inside as Podwinski leads that one, but Lindbergh into the inside. Here comes Williamson as well to the inside as we've got a really good battle up front. This one for the lead as Podwinski still holds it, but here comes Lindbergh now to the inside again.
Anybody's game so far in the early goings of heat number 3. Tanner Podwinski actually just got overtaken by Gary Lindbergh for the lead. But Tanner Podwinski right there, practically right there in his bumper, and they're beginning to inch out in front of the pack. Number 6 then, Matt Williamson in 3rd. Shane Pierce trying to make a big move there on the outside to catch Williamson. To no avail, it is going to be Lindbergh still out in front of the early going.
We got trouble on top of turn number 4. Todd Gordon and that Blue Moon Potatoes. Number 28 has gone around, and we are going to have to go yellow for the 28 of Gordon. And Gordon comes back up in 6th after his spin there. Green flag coming out this time. Lindbergh's got the hammer down. He gets a great jump, and Williamson's going to follow through with him. And now Williamson into 2nd. Podwinski definitely not getting the start he liked there. As now he's got pressure from Rouse in the 18 and Pierce to his outside as Podwinski slides up the track. A little bit blocks Pierce a little bit in that time, but Pierce gets to his outside as he goes way up the top side in turn number 3 and 4. Podwinski still holding on to 3rd.
Halfway through heat number 3, Gary Lindbergh still in the lead, followed by Matt Williamson. But the battle going on right now for the 4th and 5th spot between Rouse and Pierce. Coming up on 3 laps to go here in this heat. It is just a half a second lead from Gary Lindbergh over Matt Williamson.
Matt Williamson dipping the right rear into the mode, looking for any kind of bite he can find to try to get around his buddy Gary Lindbergh in that 37S. Lindbergh holding the bottom, 2 to go this time. Williamson back to the mode again, trying to get that little bit of extra bite. Pierce and Rouse still side by side for spot number 4. Pierce loves that high side, and he's pushing it around the outside now. Rouse, and he's going to get the 4th spot. White flag out this time by. Final heat of the night gets the white flag. Lindbergh still holding on over the 6 of Williamson. 72 Podwinski. Good job to hold on to third. Matt switches to the outside. He's going to try to get a run down the back straightaway. Let's see what happens. One more shot at him through number 3 and 4. Checker flag waving. Gary misses the bottom a little bit, but he's going to be able to hold him off. And it's going to be Lindbergh over Williamson. Now battle for third. Podwinski holds off Pierce and Rouse in the 18R.
All right, fans, here is the starting lineup for tonight's B feature of the Mansicle Pet Value PV on the lane 4-cylinder division. Sierra Coos on the pole out of Beamsville in the number 7B, followed by James McDonald out of Niagara on the Lake in the number 77. Row 2 has Mark Deagle in the number 12, followed by Steve Miller in the number 79. Row 3, Randy Elway in the 13M, followed by Danny Worcester of Niagara Falls in the 44. Mike Guyberson out of Caledonia in the number 11 is followed by Jeremy Hughes out of Burlington in the 10K. And rounding out the field here in tonight's B feature for the 4-cylinder division is Mason Anderson out of St. Catharines. He is in the number 4. This will be a 6-lap race.
Six laps, and we're taking 6 cars here. We are starter does not like that start. We're going to have to re-rack them and stack them and try again next time around. Now we got the 77 car around in turn number 3. James McDonald goes around under caution. Tough break there. Starter Tom Beals definitely did not like that last start, so he brought him back. Happy 1-day late birthday to our starter Tom Beals, as it was his birthday yesterday. Green flag out on the B main for the Mansicle Pet Center. 4-cylinder, B main with 3 wide in the middle of the field with Worcester, the 77, and the 10 of Hughes. Hughes leading for now. Hughes in the 10J trying to get to the inside of the 12.
Syracuse still in the lead. Battle going on for the second and third spot between Deagle and Jeremy Hughes. Almost a 3-lap battle there for third. Lead just overtaken there by the number 12 car of Mark Deagle. Jeremy Hughes actually just made a move onto the inside to take the lead. Early days, it is Jeremy Hughes ahead of Deagle and Hughes, and there's trouble with the number 79 car on Steve Miller. And that is going to bring out the caution flag for the first time here in this B feature.
Left rear flat on the 79 of Miller. He's in 7 cars. We're going to take 6 out of this one. 3 laps to go for this 10J of Hughes. Green flag back out. Hughes back to the lead over the 12 of Deagle and the 70 of Syracuse. Guyberson in that 11 car, he pushes the high side. Isn't that new car for him? I believe that was built by one of the high schools around. Pinball definitely feeling out the bugs now. We've got the 77 into the 44. Worcester rips the bumper right off the 77. We've got parts all over middle of turn 3 and 4. We're going to have to go yellow.
Flag back in the air. We are racing once again here in the B feature of the 4-cylinder division. Jeremy Hughes regaining his lead over Mark Deagle as Syracuse in third. Coming up, there's actually 2 laps to go. White flag out in the air for the last lap of this B feature. White flag in the air. Jeremy Hughes still out in front in the lead, but Mark Deagle is right there trying to find the path to get to the lead. trying to sneak up there on the inside, trying to get ahead of Steamboat to catch him. Syracuse out there in third, number 11 of Mike Iverson in fourth. Checker flag is out in the air. Eagle trying to sneak up there on the inside, but it's going to be no avail. Johnny Hughes is your winner here in the meet feature for the Vancouver Pet Value PV on the way 4-cylinder, followed by Mark Deagle in the number 12. Syracuse finished in third, Mike Iverson in fourth in the number 11, and Randy Allway will round out your top 5 in the number 13. And once again, Jeremy Hughes, your winner in the meet feature.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rearview mirror, every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Crazy, crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Tonight's feature here in the Vancouver Pet Value PV on the lane 4-cylinder. On the pole is Richard Hadler out of Thorold in the number 60, followed by Vincent Pagnotta out of St. Catharines in the number 13. Kenny Hare on row 2 in the 5K, followed by Jay Moulton in the number 10. Row 3, Brian Abe, followed by Austin Worstrow. Row 4, Clinton Barrick in the 09, followed by Trevor DeBoer in the number 23. Jordan Denabriga on row 5, followed by Dylan Lord. Row 6 has Cole Hardy in the number 7C, followed by John Lubeck in the 14L. Row 7, Tyler Lafontaine out of Thorold in the 96T, followed by Jeremy May of Hagersville in the number 10X. Row 8 has Hannah Rothwell out of Welland in the 114, followed by Dave Winiger of St. Catharines in the 34. Row 9 has Sam Iftani out of Welland in the 38S, followed by Alex Riley out of London in the number 17. Row 10, Jeremy Hughes in the number 10J, followed by Mark Deagle in the number 12. Sierra Coos on row 11 out of Beamsville in the number 7B, followed by Mike Giberson in the number 11. And row 12 has Randy Allway out of St. Anne's in the 13M, and rounding out the field in tonight's 4-cylinder feature is Danny Worster out of Niagara Falls in the 44. This will be 15 laps. 15 laps this evening here in the Vancouver Pet Value PV on the lane, 4 cylinders.
Hadler and Pagnotta going to lead him to green. First feature of the night, green flag in the air. We are underway with our 15-lap 4-cylinder feature here tonight. Pagnotta and Moulton both get good starts in the 13 and 10. Here comes Kenny Hare sliding across the middle in that 5K. Hare into third. Here comes the other 5. That's Obey down the inside of Hadler down the back straightaway. He's got Worstrow to his outside as well. DeBoer in the 23 as well. Moving up now. Moulton's into the side of Pagnotta as they get together off the 4s. We're 3 wide down the front straightaway for the lead as Pagnotta leads that lap in the 13 Mustang over 10 Moulton and 5K Hare. They're still 3 wide for the lead.
Well, they're really going here. It's a 3-wide matchup for the lead. And the 2 cars pulling out so far are Jay Moulton and Kenny Hare. Really going so far in this feature race. Kenny Hare made a good move. He is out in front of the early going, but look out for the number 10 of Jay Moulton. He is right there beside him in the lead. So far is Kenny Hare.
5K Kenny Hare pulling to the inside of the 10 of Moulton. They battle side by side for the lead. 5 Brian Obey, he's doing a good job in that white and black Mustang coming up to the inside. He looks to the inside of Moulton now down the front straightaway. Trevor DeBoer, 23, he's moving up. He's to the outside of the 5 of Obey now, side by side all the way through the top 10 as we've got Hare leading, followed by Moulton, Obey, DeBoer, and Worcester are your top 5 for now.
Head of the feature race here so far. Kenny Hare still in the lead, but Jay Moulton right there beside him in the runner-up spots. Look at the number 5 car of Brian Ove. He is right there, slowed down just a tiny bit. The number 23 car of Trevor DeBoer pulled up right in front of him to take over his spot. Anybody's game so far here in the early going. It is side-by-side for the lead between Hare and Moulton.
Moulton now gets a good bite off the top of 1 and 2. He pulls out half a car length. He's pulling out down the back straightaway. He's going to lead into turn 3. DeBoer now into third as we've got a yellow. No, we don't. I'm a liar. Just someone slowing down the front straightaway and messed me up. Gyberson was slow on the front straightaway there. We're still green. Moulton leads that lap. That was 6 down, 9 to go for the 10 of Moulton, who has taken the lead from the 5 of Kenny Hare. DeBoer looking fast in that 23 as well.
Coming up on 8 laps to go here in this feature race in the Van Sickle Pet WPV on the lane 4-cylinder. Jay Moulton out in front here with 8 laps to go, followed by the 5K of Kenny Hare. Almost a 3-wide battle going on right now for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th spot between LaFontaine, Worstrow, and DeBoer. Coming up on 7 laps to go, it is Jay Moulton still in the lead, but look out for Kenny Hare. He is right there on his trail.
Tyler LaFontaine in that 96, he's won every race so far here at Merrittville in this division, but right now he's stuck in that 6th spot, trying to get around the 23 of DeBoer. Let's see if that streak ends tonight for the 96 of LaFontaine. As here we come, lap 9 down, 6 to go here for the 10 of Moulton.
The leader, Jay Moulton, beginning to encounter just a bit of lap traffic. That was the 44 car of Danny Worster. He's beginning to increase his lead by just a bit more, about 1.2 seconds ahead of Kenny Hare. Tyler LaFontaine, who started out well at the back of the pack, has moved his way on up into 3rd spot. Coming up on about 5 laps to go here in this feature race, Jay Moulton beginning to increase his lead that much more.
Hannah Rothwell in the 114 gets up the inside of the 13 of Lord. Runs off the quarter panel of that 13 truck. As up front now, LaFontaine in the 96 has moved to the outside of Hare. LaFontaine now into the top 3. He's looking to keep that streak alive. As we're 11 in, 4 to go. That time for Moulton is now Rothwell. Must have had something go wrong in that 114. And she's down off the top of turn number 4 into the moat. Nose into the wall. We have to go yellow. Pace car to the infield. Moulton can fire anywhere from the scoreboard to the blue cone in 4. He fires, green flag is out, and we are racing at this 4-lap shootout. For the 4 cylinders tonight, Moulton trying to hold off the 96 of LaFontaine and the 5 of Hare. Hare pushes up a little bit, that's going to open the door for 96, but here comes Worstrow as well, and that 71 not letting the top 3 get away.
Coming up on 3 laps to go here in this feature race here in the 4 cylinders. Jay Moulton still looking strong here, still in the lead, ahead of Kenny Hare and Tyler LaFontaine. Battle going on for 4th and 5th between the car of Austin Worstrow and John Lubeck. We're coming up on 2 laps to go, and Jay Moulton still there in the lead. Well, look out for Kenny Hare and Tyler LaFontaine.
LaFontaine and Hare, they're battling door to door. Here comes Lubeck on the high side in that 14. Worstrow still right there as well. They're side by side for the 2nd through 5th spots. Hare slides her in deep, gets into the side of LaFontaine. That's going to open up the door for Moulton to pull away a bit in that 10 car as he takes the white flag down the front straightaway this time. Moulton looking pretty good. He's got about a 6-7 car length lead over now. They're 3 wide for the 2nd spot. Lubeck pushing the high side in that 14 car. He wants the 2nd spot. Moulton into 3 and 4. Here we go. He gets a little bit of push. Can he hold on? Out of 4, it's going to be 10. Moulton breaks the streak of LaFontaine. 2nd, Lubeck. 3rd, Hare. 4th, LaFontaine rounding out the top 5 is going to be the 71 of Worstrow. Lord, 6th. DeBoer, 7th. Barrick. Oh, no, sorry. Hardy rounds out the top 10. So it is Jay Moulton who picks up his first victory of 2022
Here in the Van Sickle Pet Value PV on the lane, 4 cylinders. He picks up the victory over John Lubeck, who finished in 2nd spot. Kenny Hare finishing in 3rd. Tyler LaFontaine finishes in 4th place this evening, followed by Austin Worstro rounding out the top 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, here he is climbing out of the car. Give him a big round of applause for the 10 of Jay Moulton. Jay, good run, man. It must have felt awesome. LaFontaine been kicking your guys' butts in this division this year, and now you broke his streak. Tell us about how good that feels.
I really wanted to be the one to break it because he's done so much for me and gave me so much advice. So he's really good and hard to beat, but
Yeah, tell us about the race. You got the lead early. You looked fast all night, super fast in your heat. Definitely have some speed in this 10 car all the time. Tell us about your race.
well, the track's been tough, so we made a lot of changes this week, try to get the car turned better, and it was perfect.
Tell us about all your sponsors. I know you got a lot in the car that helped you get here. As it's your first win of the year, I'm sure you want to thank them.
I need to thank Fast Lane Transport, Pace Automotive, Cooper Motorsports. He's done a lot to this car. Niagara Trailers, my brother Rob Molden, the Remax, Dominion Lending, Central Fab, and everybody that helps out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one more time for the 10 of Jay Molden. Jay, we're going to get you to pick the winning 50-50 number.
Trevor Want out of Niagara Falls, he is in the number 19. Followed by Bryce Richardson of Port Colborne in the number 11R. Row 2 has Go Fast Tebow out of Fort Old in the number 11, followed by Jim Lampman from Caister Center in the number 28. Row 3 has Jason Fontaine in the number 1J. He is followed by Zach Bleach out of Port Robinson in the number 108. Row 4 has Kyle Powline out of Smithville in the 47X. He is followed by Mark Fawcett from Canfield in the number 32. Rob Murray heads up row number 5. He is in the number M1. He is followed by Kyle Andrus out of Hamilton in the number 43. On row 6, we have Donnie Lampman. He is in the number 28D. He is followed by the number 49 car of Dave Bailey. Row 7 has Chris Hale out of Guelph. He is in the number 79. Right beside him is Brad Sheehan out of St. Catharines in the number 2. Row 8 has Pete Reed in the number 05. He is from Stevensville. John Couture out of Niagara Falls in the number 0 Bat Rod. Row 9 has Kyle Haynes out of Bellwood, Ontario in the number 22, followed by Casey Huffman out of Brantford in the number 13. And on row 10, we have Chris Schneider out of Port Colborne in the number 50. And rounding out the field here in tonight's Hoosier stock feature is Mark McDonald out of Lucan in the number 2M. 20 laps. 20 laps this evening for tonight's Hoosier stock feature here at Merrittville.
Tonight's Hoosier stock feature rolling behind the Merrittville Speedway pace car. Just got a little debris off the bottom of the floor there. Got that cleaned up already. And we're going to be white next time by. Next time by will be green flag conditions for our front row. That's Want in the 19 and the 11R of Richardson. White flag is out. We are going green in half a lap. Want and Richardson front row. Teeple and Jim Lamon in behind him. Fontaine in the third row with the 108 of Bleach. Definitely lots of heavy hitters already inside this top 10. Starter Tom Beal's got the green flag. He's going to unreel it. Here we go. Green flag is out. They hammer down at the blue tool middle and they race into turn number 1. Richardson in the 11. He's going to try to get the jump. Want in the 19 rolls the middle. They're still side by side out of turn number 2 for the lead with Want a nose out in front as Teeple in that 11R has moved into the third spot for now. We're side by side through the top 10. Landon throws her in high on the top side. Bleach looks to his inside now as we are 3 wide for the lead out forward. It's going to be Want leading lap 1.
The early goings of this feature race. It is Trevor Want still in the lead. Go Fast Teeper moving on up into second. Single file 1 through 4 between Teeper as well as Powline. And on the inside, Teeple just made a big move and is into the lead with the 19 car of Trevor Watt right there. And it is Teeple in lead in the early going.
Good job for Teeple there to roll the bottom and keep the car in the good moisture out of turn number 4, able to peek up the lead. Pell Ryan in that 47X, he's trying to do the same thing, run the save line. He gets in the good stuff out of 4. He tries to sweep on the 11, and Teeple can't do it, but now Pell Ryan into the second spot in that 47X. Juan starting to fall back a little bit as he's trying to push that high side, but it doesn't look like there's much there. Juan still in that third spot now, battling 3 wide with Fontaine. Bleach and Richardson. Now almost 4 wide out of 4 for that third spot. Now Bailey already moving up. Bailey already looking for third down the front straightaway in that 49. Bailey taking no time to make his way through the field here tonight.
Dave Bailey, who started out well at the back of the pack of this race, has just moved on up into 4th. Kyle Pellrine into the lead here in the early going. And Dave Bailey right up there on the inside of Teeple just made a move in the second spot. But Kyle Pellrine just beginning to increase his lead just that much more, but it is anybody's game here in this feature race so far. Trevor Watt moving back on up into 3rd.
Yeah, Juan's starting to figure out that high side. He's still rolling in the third spot as now he makes a little bit of mistake and falls back. He's into the mode as I say that. Announcer's curse for the 19-1 as he's now falling back to about the 6th spot as he's 3 wide with Teeple, Fontaine, Donnie Landman, Zach Bleach. They're all in a huge gaggle of cars there racing from 4th through about 8th or 9th. Fontaine now slides her up. He's into the 4th spot now on the bottom, but he slides up out of 4 and gives the 4th spot right to Donnie Landman, Monday night's feature winner.
Right now it is about a half-second lead for Kyle Pellrine. Well, look at Dave Bailey. He's beginning to try to go on the outside of Pellrine to take the lead. Side-by-side battle going on for 3rd and 4th between Fontaine as well as Lampman. Rod still way on the outside, trying to commit himself to that line. Still hasn't worked yet. Kyle Pellrine still in the lead with about 12 laps to go.
Mark Fawcett in that 32. He's been fast here this year at Merrittville. He's now pushing in on the back bumper of the 49 of Bailey. So Bailey now is going to have pressure from the 32 of Fawcett for the second spot as Bailey now is trying to swing to the outside middle of 47 of Pellrine. And we've got a 3-car battle now for the lead with Fawcett throwing his nose in there. As here's Bailey now taking a move to the outside but can't get Pellrine into 3. Pellrine doing a good job hitting his marks, holding the bottom.
Dave Bailey right on Kyle Pellrine's tail, trying to sneak up there on the outside to take the lead away from Pellrine, and looks like he is going to do just that. Dave Bailey taking over the lead at the halfway point here at this feature race. Pellrine in 2nd, followed by Mark Fawcett in 3rd, side by side between Fontaine and Lampman. With about 9 laps to go, it is Dave Bailey now out in front from starting out at the back of the pack.
Bailey saw that halfway sign, decided he better make his move in that 49 cars. He disposes of the 47X of Pellrine into the 2nd spot to battle with the 32 of Fawcett as Fawcett now gives a shot to the 47. And we've got problems now. The 28 of Landman really high off the top side as I think I saw maybe a tire or something come apart. There's debris in the middle of 3 and 4. We're going to have to go yellow. Nice and slow behind the Merrittville Speedway pace car. We're coming to restart here with 12 and 8 to go on our 20-lap Hoosier stock feature here tonight. Super slow to the blue pool noodle in 4. Hammers are down, green flag is out. Bailey gets a good jump in the 49 car. He's already a car length ahead of the 32 of Fawcett. 47 Pellrine, he's going to try to get to the inside of the 32, get that 2nd spot back, but Fawcett powers around the outside, and he's going to look to the outside of Bailey now, maybe into turns number 3. Hale now on that 79, he's been moving up through the field, throws it to the inside of Fontaine there in 4. He's going to come out of turn number 4 in the 4th spot, so 79 Hale up to 4th.
7 laps to go here in this Hoosier stock feature. Dave Bailey still there in the lead. Side by side, almost going there for 2nd and 3rd between Fawcett and Pellrine. With the number 79 of Chris Hale, who started out the back of the pack, is now up into 4th. With about 6 laps to go, Dave Bailey in the lead, but look out for Pellrine and Fawcett. And as well, Chris Hale.
Yeah, Bailey definitely not getting to stretch out the lead as much as he'd like here. I'm sure he's still got lots of pressure in behind him as now Fawcett and Pellrine are starting to race. As here comes Hale. He's definitely looking maybe like the fastest car on the track. Hale in that 79 car's got it hooked up on the bottom, and now he's to the inside of the 47 exit Pell line for third. Hale not going away, and that 79 is now Fawcett still putting a little pressure on that 49 of Bailey, as now Hale's into the third spot for good. Hale definitely looks fast right now. We've got coming to 4 to go.
4 laps to go here in this feature race. Dave Bailey still out in front, Fawcett in second, but look out for Chris Hale. He's trying to sneak up onto the inside of Fawcett to try to get to that second spot. Basically side by side right now, but look at that big move that Chris Hale is making, trying to catch the 49 car of Dave Bailey. And look at that, he is now into the lead, not quite yet, but he is right there on the inside of Bailey with about 3 laps to go. Bailey's still in the lead, but look out for Chris Hale.
Hale now to the inside of Bailey. He pulls into the lead into turn 3. Bailey can't quite hold the bottom just as good as Hale. He's definitely got that 79 car welded on the bottom side. We've got a car around in turn number 1 and 2. Jimmy Landman going in reverse. He throws her around, and we're going to be able to keep green. That's a Landman signature move. Throwing in reverse, gets it spun around, and we stay green with the 79 of Hale still out front. He's going to be coming to the white flag this time from starter Tom Beals. White flag in the air. Bailey's got another shot at him. Hale misses the bottom. Bailey to his inside. We're definitely going to have a racer. Hale pinches Bailey hard into the guardrail down the front straightaway. Hale definitely wants to win this feature. Hale down the back straightaway now. One more shot to Bailey. Looks like Bailey's falling back. He better hit the bottom is good because he's definitely owed one here, but coming out of turn number 4, it's going to be 79 Chris Hale picking up the win over 49 Bailey, 32 Fawcett, 47 Pellrine 4th, 28 Donnie Landman 5th, Murray 6th in the 1M, 2 Brad Sheehan, great comeback for him in the 7th spot, 1 Jay Fontaine 8th, Richardson 11R 9th, and rounding out the top 10 will be 19 of Trevor Want. Great race tonight in the Hoosier stocks.
Fans, that was a very entertaining feature race here this evening here in the Hoosier Stocks. Very entertaining, that's for sure. And it is Chris Hale who picks up his first win here at 2022.
Here he is coming out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for the number 79 first feature win on the air, Chris Hale. Chris, awesome run. That was a heck of a run with the 49 of Bailey. You definitely were super fast in them last 10 laps. Tell us about your race. You had to know you had the fast car there. Just tell us about getting the lead and then holding off Bailey there and won with the block.
You know what? At the beginning of that race, I was actually going to pull off. I didn't feel like we were that good, but the car just came in and the track came to us. So, yeah, it was nice to see metrics go back-to-back weeks. So, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention. Metrics two for 2 now in this week. You do a lot of racing. Tell us about your plans this year. You're going to hit all 3 tracks, or what are your plans?
You know what? I think I'm going to come back here more. I know I'm going to do Friday nights over at Ashweekend, and then we'll see about this place.
Just tell us about all your sponsors that helps you get to victory lane here for your first win of the season.
Well, first I want to thank my crew guys, Cole and Tony. They've done a great job. All my supporters, Stony Creek Transmission, Parson Associates, Draper Doors, Beothuck, and HRE.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one more time for tonight's Hoosier Stock feature winner. Awesome run for the 79 of Chris Hale.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rear-view mirror. Every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Green flag is out. We are racing tonight in the Rona Deutsch Mod Light feature. Even start between the 44 of Anderson and the 71 of Buscombe. Slider sees that. He's going to push to the high side, try to get the lead in that 17 car. He's into second. Big run out of 2 is now he's side by side with the 44 of Anderson for the lead. Pitts looking to the inside of the 71 for third. Bigelow just holding back now in about 6. He's to the inside of May, and he's moving in to the 6th spot now in that 16 car. Slider leads lap 1. Over the 44 of Anderson, 26 Pitts, 71 Buscombe, and Winger rounds out the top 5 in that 4 car.
Josh Slider looking strong here in the early going. Here's actually going on to the outside there. And he is followed by the number 44 of Ryan Anderson, the 26 of RJ Pitts in third. And the early going there, it is Josh Slider in the lead. We got a caution flag. Problem with the number 23 of May.
Jeffrey May there gets looped up on the top side at turn number 1, spins it around, going to rejoin the back of the field. Tough break there for May. He's usually super fast, just made a little mistake there. Got the 23 turned around, and we have to go yellow. Two laps into this 20-lap feature, so 18 to go. Slider in that 17, been your early leader over the 44 of Ryan Anderson, 26R RJ Pitts. 4, Tyler Winger. In 4th, 5th, Leroy Buscombe. 6th, Brent Bigelow. 7th, Rob Meisner. Going to try to follow Slider around, get the second spot here on this restart. Pace car into the infield. Can fire anywhere between the board and the blue cone in 4. Slider goes about halfway in the spot there, and he's going to lead into turn number 1. Winger does get a good jump and does move into second spot in that number 4 cars. Now he's battling with the 44 of Anderson. Winger takes over the second spot down the back straightaway as Slider rolling that high side trying to pull away. Bigelow up into 4th now in the 16. He's going to look to the inside of the 44. Bigelow now to 3rd. Slider clicks off that lap, 3 in.
Josh Slider still out in front in the early goings of this feature race here in the modified lights. Tyler Winger, the number 4, right there trying to stay onto the inside trail there, and is going to take the lead. Not quite yet. It is still Josh Slider in the lead, but look out for the number 4 car of Winger. Side by side right now going on between Winger and Slider for the lead, with the number 16 of Bigelow right there.
Winger now looks to the inside of Slider. He's going to take the lead and lead this lap out of 4 side by side. Winger leads that lap by 0.019 seconds, so almost a dead heat at the line. Slider not going away on the high side. He takes the lead back down the back straightaway. Let's see if he drops to the bottom to block the 4 Winger. He does not. Leaves that bottom line open. And now Bigelow going to sneak under the 4 Winger. We're going to have 3 wide across the line. Slider leads that lap, this time over 0.1 of a second that time for the lead of Slider, but now he's definitely giving him up a little bit on the bottom, and now he's coming down the back straightaway again, trying to get the lead back. Side by side still for the lead between 4 of Winger and 17 of Slider.
3 wide duel going on there for the lead between Winger, Slider, and Bigelow. The 17 of Slider still committed to that outside line, trying to stay in the lead. Right now, it is the 17 in second spot now. The number 4 of Tyler Winger. Well, actually, it is still a 3 wide battle going on for the lead with about 12 laps to go.
Bigelow, your leader now. Slider pushing up the high side. He pulls alongside his teammate in the 16. Side by side, turn number 3 and 4. Here they come to click off lap 9. Bigelow leads this lap over Slider, Winger. Dylan Slider in the 7S doing a good job. He's moved up to 4th, and RJ Pitts rounds out the top 5 right now in that 26R.
Coming up to the halfway point here of this Rona Deutsch Modified Light feature. Still really anybody's game here in this feature between Bigelow, Slider, and Winger. Bigelow starting to inch his lead just a little bit more, but the 17 car of Slider still committed to that one line of the racetrack. And is putting there into second. The number 4 car of Winger out there in third, but right now, beyond the halfway point, it is still Brent Bigelow.
Slider trying different lines in that 17 car. He dropped to the bottom the last time in 3 and 4. Let's see what he does this time. Didn't like it. Back to the top, but Bigelow definitely pulling away in that 16 cars. Now Bigelow has about a half straightaway lead over the 17 of Slider.
Brent Bigelow with about just under a second and a half lead over Slider. and a little bit more of the 4 of Winger. And actually, Bigelow is just beginning to encounter just a bit of lap traffic there as we come up on 7 laps to go here in this feature race. Bigelow still comfortably out in front, though.
Bigelow doing a nice job, nice and smooth on the bottom where he's been super fast this year, running that line. Slider definitely car going away a little bit, starting to get a little loose in that 17 car as he's got pressure now from the 4 of Winger. Winger moving in on the 17 of Slider for that second spot. Back in the field, we've got Meisner and the 07 of Watson going at it pretty hard for the 6th spot. That's probably the best battle on the track right now between the 6 of Meisner and the 07 of Watson, as we've got the 32 around. Cohen Corbett's around in the top of turn number 3. And we're going to have to go yellow for the 32 of Corbett. Winger in that 4 car, he was definitely looking faster than Slider before the yellow. See if he's got anything for the front 2. Nice and slow into 3 and 4. Bigelow puts the hammer down. We are green, flag racing once again. Bigelow gets an awesome restart in that 16. Brings the 4 Winger through with him. Slider down to the top side. He wails it around there, gets a good run down the back straightaway. Here's Slider with the head of steam built up. Going to look to the outside of Bigelow. Let's see what he's got. Looks like the high side's got a little bit less on the top of 3 and 4 than 1 and 2, as Bigelow leads another lap over Slider and Winger.
Coming up on 5 laps to go here in this feature race. Bigelow still out in front. 17 of Josh Slider trying to make a head of steam there, trying to stay committed to that outside line to try and catch Bigelow for the lead. And he's almost there in the lead. Bigelow still holding on to it. The number 4 of Tyler Winger in 3rd. And it's still with a couple of laps to go, 4 laps to go. It is anybody's game between Slider and Bigelow.
Slider really getting a good run now off the top side of both corners as he leads that lap. Slider back to the lead on lap 17, 3 to go. 17 takes the lead on lap 17. Let's see if he can hold off the 16 of Brent Bigelow for these final 3 laps, as those two have definitely distanced themselves from the 4 of Winger right now. Bigelow not giving up on that bottom side. Slider's got to go all the way around the top, and we are going to be pretty much a dead heat at the line. It was Slider over Bigelow by 0.03 of a second. That's 0.003 at the line, but we're yellow as we've got the 6 of Meisner around on the bottom of turn 4, nosed up to the tires, and we have to go yellow, and that stalls the battle for the lead, with Slider was leading that time by 0.003 of a second over the 16 of Brent Bigelow. So a heck of a race up front again. Every race so far tonight has been a heck of a race. Scoreboard and the blue pool noodle in 4. Looks like he's going to slow it right down, goes right at the noodle at the last minute. Bigelow saw that coming though. He gets a pretty good start in that 16. High side for Slider, bottom for Bigelow. Out of 2, down the back straightaway. Slider charges down the back straightaway, picks up about a 4-car length lead over the 16 of Bigelow as he's coming to see the white flag this time.
White flag in the air for the last lap of this feature race. The duel still going on between Slider and Bigelow. Practically side by side as they go to the back straightaway there. This is going to be a real close finish here, fans, between Slider and Bigelow. Bigelow on the inside trying to stay committed to that line, and it is going to be Brent Bigelow taking the victory here in the Road to Wedge Modified Lights in a great feature race over Josh Slider. Tyler Winger finishes in 3rd spot, followed by Chris Watson in 4th, and the number 7S of Dylan Slider in 5th.
Jeez. Congrats, Brent. Had an awesome battle there with your car owner. You were checked out early on the second last restart. He showed his nose, took the lead back, and then you got him back on the last lap there. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I figured, when I got in clean air there, the car was really good and went through traffic really well. So I thought I had a real good car and even late. But, I seen his nose there after that restart, and I was trying everything. I felt I was getting a little loose for sure, but I thought I was still good. And, thank God that caution come out. I could cool my tires back down there, and with 2 to go there, I could take a real stab at him, and I threw it at him. But it's been like 2 years since he's won here, so I feel super bad taking one. But I think it was a race to watch. The cheer that just got getting out of the car must have been really exciting to watch. So that's cool, and I hold that family near and dear to my heart. So I hope they're not too mad at me for stealing one from him.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Tonight's Mod Lite feature winner, taking one away from his corner, it's Brent Bigelow. Nice and slow down the back straightaway. Pace car going to take the hard left right about now. Now it's all up to our front row. They're going to lead a nice slow pace into the blue cone, starting to pick it up a little early. Here we go. Green flag goes out. We are racing for our 30-lap Sportsman division here tonight. Bleach and Fairway, nice and even into turn number 1. Sharp now trying to pry open the number 1 away to Bleach. Sharp doesn't get there. Bleach and 53 Fairway side by side into turn number 3 and 4. They're still side by side as they're going to come out at 4. Who's going to lead lap 1? It's going to be Fairway by a nose. Over at Bleach, Sharp third, Vanderzand in fourth, and Jay Malley rounds out the top 5 on lap 1. Is now Fairway pulls out to a couple car length lead down the back straightaway. Fairway, your leader.
Here in the early going of this heat, Darryl Fairway out in front in the early going. A 2-wide battle going on for the runner-up spot between the number 108 of Billy Bleach and the 8S of Justin Sharp. Darryl Fairway looking pretty strong here in the early goings of this heat. He is in the lead here in the early going, and a side-by-side battle going on there. But look at the number 20 of Jay Mallory. He is up there as well.
Mallory looking good in that Glen Stars Racing number 20 Sportsman car. He battles for the 4th spot with the 68 of Curtis Friesen, his outside. Sharp now gets into the 2nd spot around the 108 of Bleach. Sharpie into 2nd in that Blue Moon Potatoes 8S ride. Friesen now to the outside of the 20 of Mallory's. Now Friesen looks to move around 2 cars in 1 corner. That time Curtis Friesen with a great run out around the outside. He's going to try to get Sharp as well. Friesen with a lot of speed around the outside in that 68 right now.
5 laps into this feature race. Darryl Fairway still in the lead by about 1.5 seconds over Justin Sharp. And the 68 of Curtis Friesen moving on up into 3rd. Side-by-side battle there. The 108 of Bleach is in 4th. In the early going here, Darryl Fairway looking pretty good here in this feature race so far.
Friesen now into 2nd. Curtis Friesen in that 68 doing a good job up on the high side. One of the only cars to get a good run off of there as he's slowly closing in, maybe even on the 53 of Fairway, who's doing a good job out front. He comes down now to click off lap 7. 23 to go here for the 53 of Fairway. 68 Friesen tips that right rear down into the mode, looking for that bite. Throws it up onto the high side. He is gaining in on that 53 of Fairway. Pulling away from the 8S of Sharpens, who's in 3rd. Brad Rouse now into the 4th spot around the outside of 108. So Rouse in that 18R doing a good job. He's up into the top 5. He's looking for that $1,200. I know that.
Curtis Friesen beginning to inch his way on up to Darryl Fairway, our leader here in this heat. They're the top 2, and they're pulling away from the field. But Justin Sharp and Brad Rouse on their trail as well. Darryl Fairway still in the lead, but Curtis Friesen is closing in on the lead by about 0.8 seconds.
Curtis Friesen closing in ever so slowly on that 53 of Fairway. Fairway's going to hear him ever so soon here. Is now Friesen switches down, trying to get a little bit of the bottom, swings it out wide, loses a little bit of ground that time to the 53 of Fairway, leads over Friesen, Sharp, Rouse, Bleach, Mallory, McPherson holding on to that about 6th spot right now, battling with the 74 of Vanderzand. And here comes JMF in the 72. He's up to about 8th, battling with Leslie. Here comes the 53 again to click off another lap. Still 68 of Friesen all over him.
11 laps down here in this feature race, and Curtis Friesen is trying to go onto the outside of Fairway to get himself into the lead. He's still onto that outside line, trying to still stay there, and he has caught the lead. He is only for a moment there. Fairway still there. Curtis Friesen now into the lead here in this feature race, and we got a problem with the 1 car going into the pits.
24 lane into the pits. Great job by the 68 of Friesen. Now he's trying to block the line of the Fairway, but Friesen definitely rolling that outside, drops the right rear into the mode again. Friesen definitely super fast in that 68 car here tonight. Lots of speed in that 68 tonight. Here comes Rouse now into the 3rd spot around the 8S of Sharp. So now Brad Rouse up into that 3rd spot. Fairway not going away in the 53 car either. He's still on the back bumper of the 68, who's now in the lap traffic. Puts Chris Hawkins down a lap in the 25.
As we approach the halfway point of this feature race this evening, Friesen and Fairway still battling it out for the lead, and they are encountering lap traffic, so they do have to be careful to make sure they don't get anywhere near them. But so far, Curtis Friesen really looking strong. He has now increased his lead by just under a half a second over Darrell Fairway.
Leaders around the 28, 23 of Petey. Fairway now only with the 68 ahead of them. Had a lap car in between them that last lap. Fairway starting to maybe close in a little bit now again on the 68 of Friesen. Friesen pushes that high side. Next lap car they're going to encounter is the 21 of Spencer Smolders. Friesen looks to the inside of Smolders. Throws it in hard, rolling through that middle. Fairway on the bottom. Here comes Rouse in the 18. Might be gaining on the 53 a little bit, but if we don't get a yellow, it's going to be hard to gain all the way up all that ground in between the leader and the 18R. Now Smolders gets cleared by the 68 of Friesen into turn 3 and 4. Here they come to click off lap number 18. So 12 to go this time by for the 68 of Friesen.
12 laps to go here in this feature race. Curtis Friesen still looking pretty strong there, waiting to increase his lead just that much more over Darrell Fairway. Brad Rouse in third, followed by Justin Sharp. Cody McPherson rounds out the top 5 with 11 laps to go. It is still Curtis Friesen by just actually 0.7 seconds over Darrell Fairway.
Curtis Friesen doing a great job out front of this 30-lap Western Canadian Sportsman Reason Dirt Sportsman feature at Merrittville. Blue flag out for the 13. Friesen moves to his outside, going to try to get around him, but another lap car in between him and the 53 of Fairway. Friesen definitely starting to pull away just a little bit again over the 53, up to about an 8-car length lead. Friesen doing a great job running about the only line like that. He's running through the field. No one else really able to get that line to work.
It is now a full second lead for Curtis Friesen with about 9 laps to go here in this feature race. Second ahead of Darrell Fairway with Brad Rouse not far behind Fairway. Coming up on about 8 laps to go here. Curtis Friesen really looking strong, hoping to maintain his lead. He's looking pretty good over Darrell Fairway.
2 cars now in between the 68 of Friesen and the 53 of Fairway. Fairway having trouble with the McKay 13. Can't quite get around him. Fairway quicks off another lap. That's 23 in, 7 to go for the 68 of Friesen. Rouse now starting to move in on the back of the 53. Rouse trying to move in on second. He's going to look to the inside of the 13 car to put him a lap down. Rouse now on the back bumper of the 53 as we've got 6 to go that time by for the 68 of Curtis Friesen. Doing a great job out front.
Really strong ride going on right now from Curtis Friesen as he is still maintaining his lead by over 1.5 seconds here in this feature race with just about 5 laps to go. Friesen trying to avoid the moat there, but still managed to maintain it. He is still about 1.7 seconds ahead of Darrell Fairway. And as we approach nearly 4 laps to go, Curtis Friesen really making it look easy now against Darrell Fairway, Brad Rouse, and Cody McPherson.
Rouse pushes Fairway into the moat there as he takes over the second spot. Fairway trying to fight back on the 18R Rouse. Rouse now into the second spot. McPherson into 4th in the 7 car. Trying to move in on Fairway now as we've got 3 to go this time by for the 68 of Friesen. Rouse trying to move in on him. Rouse up to that second spot. Fairway, McPherson, and JMF, James Michael Friesen, round out the top 5 now. Sharp in 6th, 7th Bleach, 8th Mallory, 9th Leslie, and 10th is Van der Zanen in that 74s. Here we go, 2 to go this time by for 68 Friesen.
Brad Rouse, started up the back of the pack, is now in 2nd spot. Curtis Friesen still just about 1.5 seconds ahead of the lead. As we approach the white flag is now out in the air for Curtis Friesen. 1 more lap to go for him. Brad Rouse in 2nd, followed by Cody McPherson, who is now in 3rd. Darrell Fairway now back in 4th spot. As Friesen comes around for the final time, and a yellow flag in the air. The number 09 of Trevor Wright, which will bring the yellow flag out with 1 lap to go. It'll be a 1-lap shootout when we go back to green.
Wants to between the scoreboard and the blue noodle. He goes right at the scoreboard. Green flag is out. Here we go. 2-lap shootout for $1,200 here at Merrittville. Rouse goes to the inside. First and pushes the high side. We've got cars around. A little bit of a parking lot in turn 3. as we're going to have to go back yellow. Looks like the 3 Amamo, 23 Petey, and looks like 28 at Dumont around in turn number 3. So that ruins our 2-lap shootout. We're going to have to try it again. Another green-white checker coming up. Pace, car is in, freezing nice and slow. Into 3 and 4. Where's he gonna fire from this time? About the same spot, here we go. Green flag is out, we are racing for a green-white checker here at Merrittville. Friesen this time goes to the bottom, changes up his line, trying to block the 18R Rouse. That's gonna open up the top side for Rouse. Friesen slides across. Rouse takes his lane into 3 and 4. Here comes McPherson now on the bottom. Not the best decision there for Friesen to go on the bottom, as he's going to lose this lead. Is now Rouse and McPherson are by him. Friesen now into 3rd. Rouse on the high side. Cody on the bottom. Down the back straightaway. This is the final lap. Into 3 and 4 for $1,200. Who's going to be? Rouse goes to the bottom for block. Checker flag wave, and it's going to be Brad Rouse picking up his first Sportsman win of the year over the 7 and McPherson. 68 Friesen. Tough luck for him. Ends up 3rd. His brother in behind him, James Friesen. Fairway rounds out the top 5. 6th is Sharp. 7th, Leslie. 8th, Bill Bleach. 9th, Jay Mallory. And rounding out the top 10 is Mod Light winner, Brent Bigelow. Here he is climbing out of the car. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for tonight's $1,200 Sportsman winner. It's the 18R Brad Rouse. Brad, awesome run. You took one away from young Friesen there. That was going to be his first win, but I don't think you were going to get him if it wasn't for those yellows. But you got the yellows, used your expertise, got by him, and took the win for the $1,200. Tell us about it.
Yeah, he had a really good car. I keep seeing him going over to his crew to top and bottom. They kept telling the bottom, so I'm like, perfect. I'm going to the top in 1 and 2. So, yeah, I mean, kind of helped me that way, kind of reading it a little bit. But he ran a heck of a race, and this car was hooked up. That's for sure.
First win of the year for you here at Merrittville. You're running both cars. Tell us about running both cars and all the sponsors that got you here.
Yeah, it's tough running one night. You run one night, back and forth. It's a little bit tough, but I got a good crew, a good bunch of guys that get me here, and they work hard. And it's just all my sponsors on this car. Every sponsor. I got Epic Racewear, Sterling Lubricants, Barron Roofing, Bellinger Electric, Integra Shocks, Platinum Graphics. Donna's Motorworks, Cool Boys, TBR, Henry's Exhaust. Everybody that's on this car has helped me out, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for tonight's Dirt Car Sportsman winner. It's the 18R Brad Rouse. This car going to make the hard left into the infield. Then it's all in our front row. Podwinski and Davidson to lead him to green. RPM's already coming up. Here we go. Green flag is out, and we are racing down the front straightaway at Merrittville for the Corpac Merchandising 358 feature. Podwinski gets a little bit of a jump. Gets her turned into 1 and 2. He's going to lead down the back straightaway over the 73 Davidson, 97 C. Luke Carlton, Boyd McTavish, and Scott Wood, your top 5 right now. 3 wide in behind them for about the 6th spot is Fast Fred. In the 96, throws it in deep, gets around the 88 of Shane Pierce. Pete Bicknell in that battle as well. He's to the outside of Carlton, battling for 5th and 6th as Podwinski leads in the 72 down the back straightaway into 3.
Podwinski looking good here in the early going in this feature race. Followed by the 97C there of Luke Carlton. He just is moving on up into 2nd. Just moved on up into 2nd there. And of the 73 of Dylan Davidson. In the early going so far, Tanner Podwinski really looking strong here in this feature race.
Podwinski pulling out to 10 car lengths over 96. 7C Luke Carlton, who's moved into 2nd around Davidson. Carlton looking strong in that 97. Here comes Pete Bicknell now. He's to the inside of Scott Wood. Bicknell in that 42 up to 4th. Podwinski now clicks off another lap. That's 4 in the books, 31 to go for the 72 of Podwinski. Top 5 right now is Podwinski, Carlton, Davidson, Bicknell, and Wood.
Podwinski just about a 2.5 in front here in the lead. Pete Bicknell, who started out in 8th in this feature race, has now moved on up into 3rd. But so far, it has been all Tanner Podwinski here in this feature race.
Pete Bicknell in that 42, Mr. Spalbach into the top three and gaining on the 97C of Carlton. Bicknell looks fast so far in the early going in that 42 as they click off lap 6. Podwinski out front. Still doing a great job rolling that bottom. Still about an 8 car lengths back to the 97 of Carlton. Back for about the 5th through 10th spots is the best battle on the field right now. We've got Carlton in the 96 on the bottom. Shane Pierce way up where he likes it on that high side. He's going to try to drive around the 973 of Davidson. Almost 3 wide that time for about the 6th spot down the front straightaway. Fred Carlton rounded out the top 5 that time as Podwinski still doing a good job out front as now Bicknell moves in on Luke Carlton.
1 through 3 beginning to break away from the pack a little bit between Podwinski, Carlton, and Bicknell. Podwinski still about just under a second ahead of Luke Carlton, but Pete Bicknell is trying to make a move onto the inside of Luke Carlton to try to catch the 2nd spot. Not quite just yet. It is still Tanner Podwinski out in the lead.
Carlton definitely knows that Bicknell is there. He can feel him to his inside, feeling the pressure out of that 42 car. Slowly they're starting to maybe even gain on the little bit of the 72 as Podwinski slides across the bottom that time, gives up a little time to the 2 guys in 2nd spot. Luke Carlton, Pete Bicknell, Scott Wood, Fred Carlton, your top 5. Bicknell still that inside left rear quarter panel of Carlton. Carlton slides up. Bicknell now into the 2nd spot into turn 3 as they're gaining on the 72 of Podwinski.
Podwinski holding on to the lead so far, but it's just under a half a second ahead of Bicknell and Luke Carlton. Battle going on for 4th and 5th between Fred Carlton and Scott Wood. In the early goings of this feature race so far, look at Bicknell trying to get onto the lead there, but to no avail. It is still Tanner Podwinski.
Pete Bicknell, he was your feature winner back at the Spring Sizzler about a month ago. He's looking to the inside of Podwinski. Bicknell for the lead into turn 3. Your leader is now Mr. Smallblock, 42. Pete Bicknell, he clicks off lap number 13. So 13 in the books, 42 is your leader.
Still 1 through 3. It is Bicknell, Podwinski, and Luke Carlton. Pete Bicknell beginning to increase his lead just a little bit over Tanner Podwinski. Battle right now going on for 4th and 5th between Williamson and Scott Wood. Pete Bicknell, with about 21 laps to go, he is in the lead, increasing his lead just by over a second.
Matt Williamson in that 6th car, he's moved into the 4th spot. Williamson starting to gain on the top. The 2nd and 3rd place cars now as Bicknell stretches the lead a little bit. Bicknell now up about to a 10-car length lead over the 72 Podwinski. 97C Luke Carlton, Williamson in 4th, and now Fred Carlton still in 5th. Scott Wood 6th. Here comes Bicknell to click off another lap. Now that is 16 in the books for the 42 of Mr. Smallblock, Pete Bicknell.
As Bicknell begins to increase his lead here in this feature race, the battle going on for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Podwinski, Carlton, and Matt Williamson beginning to increase his lead. Williamson started out in 11th. He has now moved on up into 4th, actually into 3rd now, with Pete Bicknell just under 3-second lead ahead of Tanner Podwinski. As we approach the halfway point of this feature race, Pete Bicknell beginning to go on a Saturday night cruise.
Bicknell now catching lap traffic at the back of the field. 35, Brandon Gruhl, he's going to go a lap down to the 42. Bicknell's got to change his lineup. He'd been rolling the bottom. Now he's got to try to roll the middle. He does. He gets around the 35 of Gruhl. Now has a lap car between him and looks like Williamson's to the inside of Podwinski for 2nd. Williamson now to the 2nd spot. He's going to try to reel down Pete Bicknell in that 42 car. So Bicknell's got a couple more lap cars in front of him. Next up is 2X Tom Neal and the 2 Cool of Van Mill for the 42 to put a lap down as Matt Williamson has now got into 2nd spot all alone, and he's starting to gain just a bit on the 42.
With Bicknell beginning to increase his lead by about 3 seconds over Matt Williamson, who's moved on up into 2nd. Bicknell beginning to encounter just a bit of lap traffic there, so he does have to be careful. But right now, it's about 2.5 seconds behind Williamson. Podwinski has moved on down into 3rd. Luke Carlton and Freddie Carlton are in 4th and 5th. With with about 13 laps to go. It is still Mr. Small Block Pete Bicknell in the lead by over just about, actually 1.8 seconds at the moment.
Freddie Carlton gets around brother Luke. He's into the 4th spot, working on 3rd of the 72 Podwinski. Freddie Carlton now to the outside of the 72. He clears him. Fred Carlton in that 96 into the 3rd spot now. Bicknell clicks off another lap, but Matt Williamson is all over him now. He's reeled him in from almost a straightaway back. Williamson now down to almost a half a second lead. Lap traffic definitely going to be a factor here as Bicknell comes up on 2 cars rolling side by side. Williamson's going to be all over him. Williamson is there. That time 24 in, 11 to go for the 42 of Bicknell, but he's going to have company right this shortly with the 6 of Williamson all over his rear bumper.
On the back straightaway there, Williamson trying to go to the outside of Bicknell to try to catch him for the lead. With about 10 laps to go here in this feature race, Williamson still committed to that line, and look at that, he has taken over the lead from Bicknell, but Bicknell right there on his trail, he is now in 2nd. Bicknell's trying to go back to the inside to catch Williamson. And right now is a pretty good duel going on between Matt Williamson and Pete Bicknell with about 9 laps to go.
Bicknell kicks it into high gear now a little bit that the 6 has cleared him, but Matt has taken his line away. Matt now rolling the bottom. 42, that's where he's been. Matt did a good job to get around him and a lap car at the same time around the outside of turn number 1 and 2, and now Matt has switched to the bottom to clog up the lane that Pete Bicknell had been running. 2X Tom Neal in front of the 6 of Williamson. Neal, the next car to go a lap down. Williamson tries to throw it to his inside now as here he comes to click off lap 28. 28 in the books this time by for the 6 of Williamson. 7 to go.
About 7 laps to go. Matt Williamson, who started out in 11th place, as we started this feature race, has moved on up into the lead just under a second in front of Pete Bicknell. As we come up to the 6 laps to go here in this feature race, Matt Williamson is still in the lead. Bicknell right there in 2nd, followed by Freddie Carlton in 3rd, Gary Lindberg in the 37S in 4th. Williamson also beginning to encounter some lap traffic as well, so he just needs to be aware of that. 5 laps to go here in this feature race. Williamson still in the lead.
Lindberg now in that 37S. He's taken over 3rd spot from the 96 of Fred Carlton. So now 37S, Lindberg up into 3rd in that podium place. Works around the 2. Cool of Man Mill now gets him a lap down. Out front, Matt Williamson has worked his way to about a 12-car length lead over the 42 of Bicknell as he clicks off lap 31 that time by. 4 to go for the 6 of Williamson.
Coming up on 3 laps to go. 32 laps down, 3 more to go here in this feature race in the Core Pack Merchandising 358 Modifieds. Matt Williamson still in the lead by about a 1.5 seconds over Pete Bicknell. Gary Lindberg up into 3rd. And as we come up on 2 laps to go, Matt Williamson really making a good race here. He is still in the lead.
Williamson works his way around the 73 of Davidson, puts him a lap down. Williamson this time will be coming to the white flag from starter Tom Beals. White flag is out for the 6 of Williamson. 4 more corners and he'll pick up the win here. Matt's got a lot of racing on his plate here. He's got to go to Weedsport tomorrow night and Lebanon Valley on Monday for the Super Dirt Car Series Big Blocks. Here he is into turn number 3 and 4. This is the way he's going to want to get his weekend going with the 6. Picks up the win. Matt Williamson takes the win in the Modifieds, followed by Bicknell. Then it's going to be 37S Lindberg, 96 Carlton and Force. 5th going to be the 12th Chevalier. 6th will be Luke Carlton, followed by 7th Ryan Susie. 8th Shane Pierce. 9th Tanner Podwinski. And Scott Wood in the 38 will round out the top 5.
A big win for Matt.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together, climbing out of the car. Your winner in tonight's Core Pack Merchandising 358's Money, Matt Williamson. Good run, Matt. All right, you had Pete Bicknell out front there. He was getting away. You started 7th, had to work your way through traffic. You got there with no yellows. Tell us about the race.
I got some breaks early. It's tough. I mean, I love coming here, love the fans, love what Donnie's done out front. But, I mean, the racetrack, when it's slippery and hot laps, it doesn't really give us much to work with. I feel like the place is catering to the W16s, and it's really tough for these open motors. And but we're making it work. I mean, it just makes us work harder, and we'll just keep plugging away.
This is a good way to start your weekend. You've got a couple big races coming up tomorrow, Monday at Weedsport and Lebanon Valley. Tell us about that and coming into those races.
Yeah, perfect time to pick up a win before 2 races we ran really well last year. So hopefully we can go down there and perform and bring back a few dollars.
Just tell us about all your sponsors that get you here. I know there's a bunch of them on this car.
Yeah, of course, Wayne at S&W, all that he's done for me. Natalie couldn't make it tonight. She was working. Becker Brothers Trucking, Bicknell Racing Products, Optional Hose, Jason Enterprises, Williamson Welding, VP Race and Fuel, Barron's Performance Warehouse, Integra Shocks. My dad built us a leffer this week, or Teddy did, and Dad came up with this idea, put it on, and it was pretty good tonight. So hopefully we can keep this thing rolling.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for tonight's Core Pack Merchandising 358 Modified winner. It's Money Matt Williamson.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of GForceTV. GForceTV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.